You in. Good afternoon. This is Sam Vaughn for Sam's Sports Report. We've got Missouri and Kansas State on Monday. More. We'll do it first. We'll do it quickly. Mizzou wins their final home game of the year, 82-77 on senior night. First time since 2011 Missouri Tigers get the double bye, placed fourth. KU still gets the number one seed in the Big 12, but lost to Texas, 75-59. Kansas State finishes third as they lose to West Virginia 89-81. More tomorrow. Daniel Snyder will be our topic today. Daniel Snyder has his final breakup with an NFL team for a long-time majority partner. Washington NFL begins with a fortune in the NFL and the 2020 financial report of a secret $55 million loan. A federal grand jury has issued a subpoena of the cash documents related to the team's finances, including a loan. Prosecutors acquired the partners' NFL arbitration, other supporting materials, including emails and letters between the team executives, bank lawyers. Documents show the criminal inquiry is being led by the team FBI IRS agent, sources said. Loan lines credited obtained without approval when the Washington Board of Directors violates the team shareholder agreement. According to the document, had approval of the loan, but they had loans and lines of credit obtained without approval. Washington Board of Directors violates their team shareholder agreements, which the Washington Board never approved of. This request didn't exist even 4 days after the pass of the NFL arbitration to legally obtain documents. Move on to shut down the arbitrations. This becomes Daniel Snyder's possibly biggest breakup of the team. The further steps are being taken to sell the Commanders. In November, it emerged as they had hired a Bank of America sales Wednesday, and the Washington Post report is poised to send the amount of prospectors for the team to qualify potential buyers who agreed to the confidential provision. John counsel the Commanders and spokeswoman to decide to answer the questions about $55 million credit line, and Brownless said the team has fully cooperated with Eastern District Virginia since receiving the request. Last year's record requested only relate to customers' security and team's ticket sales revenue. The team will continue to cooperate with the investigation. Bank of America declined to comment. In spring of 2021, the mediation resulted in paying his partner $875 million for the stake of nearby. 2 years later, Snyder is seeking the team sale for up to $7 billion. At the price of the former stake, team would be worth $2.8 billion. In their arbitration petition, the partners allegedly Snyder bought the sale
Kestenbaum.
because of the diligence required by Monday. Limited partner would have revealed in April of 2020, the same month, the partner's $55 million credit line first time failed to pay his partner. The shareholders of the arbitration final allegedly the partners already knew the team's local revenue. Those apart, NFL media rights deals has dropped to by 1/3 of over the previous decade, from $241 million of the fiscal year 2009, $160 billion of the fiscal year. 3 limited partners arbitration was failed with the NFL several months before Snyder and the federal Maryland court arbitration failing. Flatty declared that Snyder was using team cash to support his lavish lifestyle. They said Snyder bizarre actions have obviously purposes of protecting the Snyder's dealing and other unauthorized conduct from being further exposed, questioned, or restrained by the border, in court, including having 22 sexual misconducts by the Washington football team, and enabling him to continue using the team as personal piggy banks. In April of 2020, month as discovered, $55 million failed to pay NFL rights in 251 fiscal year of 161 million, declare the year from 241 million. Snyder proceeded the credit agreement, the team poor operating performance, cash flow problems. This is according to ESPN, and this is Sam Vaughn for Sam Sports Report.
A secret $55 million loan has become a primary focus of federal investigators examining financial misconduct by Dan Snyder and his Washington Commanders football team, sources tell ESPN. According to documents obtained by ESPN, Snyder took out the $55 million credit line at Bank of America in December 2018 without the knowledge of his three minority partners. Team bylaws say all new debt has to be approved by the board, but the partners allege no vote was ever taken. The three billionaire partners, Dwight Scharr, Fred Smith, and Robert Rothman, discovered the secret loan in a footnote of a financial report 16 months after the credit line had been granted. The partners investigated the team's finances and claimed Snyder had used the team as his personal piggy bank, including charging the team $3 million in advertising fees to put its logo on his personal aircraft for 1 year. The partners then filed a confidential NFL arbitration petition in which they sought an investigation of the $55 million credit line and asked NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell to impose sanctions against Snyder, including placing the team into receivership. During the arbitration process, the partners repeatedly pressed the NFL arbitrator to seek key loan documents from Bank of America. 4 days after the partners asked the NFL to demand documents from Bank of America, the NFL moved to shut down the arbitration and have it resolved by mediation, led by Commissioner Goodell. The partners grudgingly agreed, and they never got their answers. The league had no interest in finding out what happened, a source with firsthand knowledge told ESPN. They buried it and didn't investigate it and covered it up. Goodell, who personally approved the loan for the league, declined comment to ESPN. NFL spokesman Brian McCarthy declined to answer questions, but provided a statement saying, in part, that the league facilitated a confidential mediation between the parties and everyone was represented by very sophisticated legal and financial advisors. Commanders attorney John Brownlee declined to answer any questions about the credit line. In a statement, he said the team has been fully cooperating with federal prosecutors since receiving a subpoena involving other financial allegations unrelated to the bank loan. Bank of America declined comment, and the three former minority partners did not respond. Less than 3 months after the mediation, the minority partners sold their 40% share of the team to Snyder for $875 million. Nearly 2 years after that buyout, Snyder has put up the team for sale, a transaction that could be worth $7 billion. Meanwhile, federal prosecutors, including agents from the FBI and IRS, continue to investigate.